Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, and the President of the Asian Development Bank, Mr. Masato Kanda. Xonimlar va janoblar, Samarqandda o'tayotgan Osiyo taraqqiyot banki boshqaruvchilar kengashining 59-yillik anjumaniga xush kelibsizlar. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 59th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of the Asian Development Bank in Samarkand. E'tiboringizni monitorga qaratishingizni so'raymiz. We kindly ask you to draw your attention to the monitor.
For centuries, Uzbekistan has stood at the crossroads of civilizations, trade, and cultures. The ancient Silk Route didn't just bring goods to the region. It carried ideas, innovation, and inspiration. Today, the region stands at another crossroads, one that's shaping a modern, prosperous, and connected future.
In this time of global uncertainty, when economies and supply chains face challenging new pressures, connections matter more than ever among countries, markets, and people. Our work together on issues like access to energy and digital technology will be critical to the next phase of growth.
By supporting regional cooperation across Asia and the Pacific, ADB is helping turn complex challenges into opportunities, connecting power networks to improve reliability, developing financial systems that encourage investment, and building transport infrastructure that makes cross-border trade easier.
The road is very important for us. Every day is going around 10-15 trucks from here. I hope in future we will send that materials for Europe.
Unlocking Asia and the Pacific's full potential will also require us to harness the power of emerging technologies. Whether that's making health systems more efficient in Bangladesh, improving crop yields in Indonesia, or exploring new ways of tackling environmental challenges in the Philippines.
We can use data to identify hotspots and address the volume or that solid waste in that hotspot before it flows down to the main Pasig River or to Manila Bay. We can also simulate the volume of waste that's going to come down.
With its partners, the Asian Development Bank deploys billions of dollars every year to help solve these challenges and build a stronger and more resilient Asia and the Pacific. But this alone is not enough. Financing development requires new ambition and new resources as fiscal pressures grow and priorities shift. The private sector plays a crucial role, supported by the right policy framework. In Uzbekistan, to help meet the country's ambitious energy goals, ADB has been working with the government to expand private investment opportunities and build critical national infrastructure while also creating new jobs.
A renewable project requires significant investment, long-term commitment, clear rules, transparent tenders and long-term agreement give us confidence that Uzbekistan is serious about renewable energy and stability, which allow us to plan with confidence.
Across the world, the pace of change is quickening. And while the challenges may seem ever more complex, they're not impossible to overcome. For nearly 60 years, the Asian Development Bank has been a trusted partner, bringing finance, expertise, and long-term commitment to solving these challenges. Just as the Silk Road shaped the past, today, our shared development priorities are shaping our connected future.
Building the future takes more than vision. It takes partnership. Together with the Asian Development Bank, Uzbekistan is driving transformation across the country. To date, 88 projects have been delivered nationwide, totaling nearly $11 billion. Currently, 28 projects worth $5 billion are under implementation across key sectors of the economy. By 2030, 78 joint projects valued at $12.5 billion are set to be delivered. Together with the Asian Development Bank, new large-scale initiatives are being advanced across key sectors. These efforts also include the development of renewable energy capacity and the modernization of power grids, reaching over 4 million people. Around 2,000 kilometers of water supply and utility networks will be modernized. Irrigation efficiency is expected to improve across 200,000 hectares of land. Uzbekistan is moving forward with confidence, scale, and long-term vision. Together with the Asian Development Bank, we are building the foundation for the next decade of growth. The future is not ahead of us. It is being built right now. Join us. Welcome to Uzbekistan.
Hurmatli anjuman qatnashchilari, so'z O'zbekiston Respublikasi Prezidenti Shavkat Miromonovich Mirziyoyev janobi oliylarga. Distinguished participants of the meeting, the floor is given to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev.
Thank you. Distinguished Mr. Masato Kanda, esteemed governors of the bank, ladies and gentlemen, it is my sincere pleasure to welcome you to the 59th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of the Asian Development Bank. It's a great honor and privilege for us to host such a prestigious forum. Our land, with a history spanning several millennia, located at the crossroads of the Great Silk Road, has long been a center connecting East and West, North and South. The paths of world civilization, science, and trade have always converged here. New Uzbekistan, embracing both a rich history and bright future, is emerging as a leading platform for discussions on pressing global issues. I am confident that the Samarkand Forum will serve to advance progressive ideas and new initiatives and facilitate important decision-making. Welcome to New Uzbekistan. Dear guests, today our country's economy is undergoing an entirely new phase of development. Since 2016, we have embarked on major reforms to liberalize the economy, create an attractive investment environment, participate proactively in global value chains, renew the social and production infrastructure in the regions fundamentally, and improve living standards of the population. In a historically short period of time, we have gone through a challenging path of development along with our hardworking and creative people. In recent years, our economy has attracted $150 billion of foreign investment, and thousands of modern enterprises have been launched. Through investment projects worth $35 billion in the energy sector alone, we have increased electricity production by 1.5 times, bringing it to 87 billion kilowatt hours. During the same period, exports of goods and services tripled. and the volume of our economy grew from $50 billion to $147 billion. These positive results are being acknowledged by the international community. Since the year 2020, Uzbekistan has consistently improved its sovereign credit ratings. In the Index of Economic Freedom, our country moved up 14 positions this year and for the first time joined the ranks of the states with a moderately free economy. Even amid global instability, our economy achieved 8.7% growth in the first quarter of this year. Most importantly, our reforms have focused primarily on improving the daily lives of every single family and individual in the country. During this period, we increased the economy of 8.5 million people in need, reducing the poverty rate from almost 35% to 5.8%. Over the past decade, Uzbekistan has been one of the 5 countries that demonstrated the most substantial progress in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. By the year 2030, we intend to transform all sectors into technologically and innovation-driven growth model, thereby increasing the size of the economy to over $240 billion. As a result, we aim to join the ranks of upper and middle-income countries and eradicate poverty completely. In the near future, 30% of the shares in the National Investment Fund, comprising the assets of 13 major strategic enterprises, will be placed on the international capital market. I am confident that this significant step will further bolster the trust of our partners in the investment climate of our country. Dear friends, we particularly acknowledge the role of the Asian Development Bank and other international financial institutions in the large-scale reforms being implemented in Uzbekistan. In partnership with the bank, which has become our trusted strategic partner, we are implementing projects worth nearly $16 billion. We highly value ADB's steadfast partnership from the outset in the areas of renewable energy, rural housing construction, and economic cooperation in Central Asia. Taking this opportunity, I express my sincere gratitude on behalf of myself and our entire nation to the President of the Asian Development Bank, Mr. Masato Kanda, and to the Board of Governors of the bank for their unwavering support. I would also like to extend my special thanks to the leadership of the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, the Islamic Development Bank, and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and other international financial institutions, as well as to all our foreign partners for their close cooperation. Distinguished participants, we have outlined specific plans with the Asian Development Bank to further expand our close cooperation in the important areas such as poverty reduction, human capital development, and modern infrastructure construction. Indeed, the previous day, we signed a new cooperation program with a bank worth $12 billion. As you are all well aware, the global economy is experiencing complex changes and new technologies are emerging rapidly in today's turbulent times. Given this, it is necessary for us to introduce jointly with the bank new mechanisms and effective approaches to ensure sustainable development. First, digital technology and artificial intelligence are currently transforming virtually all sectors into entirely new formats. According to the World Trade Organization forecasts, international trade turnover will increase by an additional 40% due to artificial intelligence by the year 2040. We are fully committed to developing information technologies. We have initiated the establishment of an artificial intelligence hub in Uzbekistan based on innovation and knowledge. We are developing more than 200 artificial intelligence projects spanning various sectors of the economy. We are implementing programs to expand data centers, supercomputers, and AI laboratories in the regions, and to train 5 million AI leaders. I would particularly like to emphasize that the Asian Development Bank and our partners like the ones in the USA, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Japan, South Korea, and China are providing us with considerable support in these areas. The use of open AI models is, of course, also required in the areas that are most essential to the population's primary needs, such as education, healthcare, water management, ecology, and food security. To this end, we propose implementing a special program under the auspices of the Asian Development Bank to scale up artificial intelligence in developing countries. We also announce our participation in the bank's Digital Highway for Asia initiative and propose opening its regional coordination center in Tashkent City. Second, the development of digital technology and artificial intelligence is in turn sharply increasing, and it is increasing the demand for energy resources. According to analysis by the International Energy Agency, the demand of data centers for electricity is expected to increase 2 to 3-fold by the year 2030. Against this backdrop, only countries that can offer investors cheap, reliable, and green energy will be able to remain competitive in the global market. We have made significant progress in this field. In collaboration with the world's leading companies, we have launched large-scale wind and solar power plants with a total capacity of 5,600 megawatts, thereby bringing the share of green energy in generation up to 30%. We plan to increase this figure to 54% by the year 2030. In overall, our region has enormous potential for renewable energy generation. We gratefully acknowledge the support of the Asian Development Bank in creating the Central Asia-Europe Green Energy Corridor to expand clean energy exports. We are confident that the countries of the region, in cooperation with the bank, will launch this energy artery project in the near term. Third, ensuring the stability of international interconnected transport systems and logistic corridors is becoming a most urgent issue. In light of conflicts around the world, changes to logistic corridors are already causing freight costs for Central Asia countries to rise by up to 30% and delaying delivery times by several weeks. As you know, construction work is underway on the China-Kyrgyzstan-Uzbekistan railway project, connecting East and West. This very new transport route will greatly enhance the transit capacity of the entire region. Delivery times will be reduced by up to 10 days, creating the capacity to transport up to 15 million tons of cargo per year. In this regard, we propose establishing a digital customs and logistics alliance within the framework of the Bank's Central Asia Region Economic Cooperation Program. This will create the opportunity to streamline customs procedures, digitize document flow, and facilitate cross-border cargo transportation. Number 4, we are interested in further strengthening our cooperation with the private sector through the bank's participation. In particular, we acknowledge the intensifying competition for critical minerals in the current technological age. According to the international experts, demand for minerals critical to industry will increase sixfold by the year 2040. This presents a new opportunity. Uzbekistan holds significant reserves of copper, tungsten, molybdenum, magnesium, graphite, vanadium, and titanium, among other minerals. To harness this potential, we have set up an R&D center with our Korean partners and are building the future metals technopark in Tashkent and Samarkand regions. We have launched over 70 projects worth $1.6 billion in collaboration with major companies from the USA, China, and Turkey. In addition to extracting minerals, we aim to stimulate economic development through deep processing. We propose joining the Asian Development Bank's From Critical Minerals to Manufacturing program and implementing projects with high added value within this framework. In this context, we consider it important to introduce advanced technologies and digital solutions in geological exploration, apply environmental standards to extraction and processing operations, as well as create sustainable supply chains for critical minerals. Number 5, climate change and desertification are having a serious impact on the development of Central Asian countries. In order to mitigate the consequences of environmental problems, we have been planting 200 million seedlings annually under the National Green Space Project for the past 5 years. We have created 2 million hectares of green protective forests on the dried bed of the Aral Sea. We have set ambitious targets to bring the level of greenery in Uzbekistan to 30% by the year 2030. At the same time, the ADB is effectively implementing its climate action plan aimed at 2030. The bank is allocating at least 50% of its annual budget to financing climate-related projects. I believe that undertaking such noble efforts in collaboration with the bank and the countries of the region will yield even greater results. Therefore, we propose implementing the regional project Central Asia Green Belt. Number 6, due to unrest around the world, millions of tourists are looking for safe destinations. Central Asia, at the same time, has great potential in the tourism sector, particularly in areas such as pilgrimage, cultural, gastronomic, ethno, extreme, and medical tourism. We have paid special attention to this sector, implementing reforms to ensure the necessary infrastructure, services, visas, and transport arrangements, and most importantly, tourist safety. As a result, over the past 10 years, the number of foreign tourists visiting Uzbekistan has increased sixfold, reaching 12 million people. The recent opened Islamic Civilization Center in Tashkent, recognized as a scientific and spiritual treasure of Central Asia, and the Imam Bukhari Memorial Complex in Samarkand, built in honor of the great scholar, have become new jewels of our country. Similar complexes are also being built in neighboring countries. Therefore, we put forward the initiative to create a Central Asia tourism ring, a tourist destination uniting the countries of the whole region. we call on neighboring states, the Asian Development Bank, and our other partners to develop a portfolio of tourism projects and finance them jointly. We stand ready to implement all the above-mentioned proposals and initiatives in active partnership with Asian Development Bank, not only through sovereign lending, but also through public-private partnerships, guarantee instruments, blended finance, and private capital mobilization. In this regard, we propose the establishment of an initiative financing platform for regional projects. Distinguished governors of the bank, the sharp changes in today's global economy further highlight the important role of the Asian Development Bank in ensuring the socio-economic stability of our wider region. In this regard, we fully support the effective reforms being carried out by Mr. Masato Kanda, the bank's president, who has extensive knowledge and experience of international finance and economic relations. Distinguished participants, today's forum is attended by more than 4,000 distinguished experts from over 100 countries of the world, international financial institutions, leading banks and companies. I am confident that the important proposals and initiatives put forward at the Samarkand platform will lead to significant practical results in the future, and that each and every agreement reached will result in a tangible and beneficial project. Taking this opportunity, I invite all of you to explore the beautiful nature, historic monuments, and the modern architecture of new Uzbekistan. In conclusion, I wish you all sound health, new achievements, and success in your future endeavors. I thank you for your attention.
Hurmatli anjuman qatnashchilari, qutlash uchun so'z Osiyo taraqqiyot banki prezidenti Masato Kanda janoblariga. Distinguished participants of the meeting, we kindly invite the President of the Asian Development Bank, Mr. Masato Kanda, to deliver his opening remarks.
Your Excellency President Shavkat Mirziyoyev, Honorable Chair of the Board of Governors, distinguished members of the Board of Governors, esteemed guests. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the 59th annual meeting of the Asian Development Bank in Samarkand. I'd like to extend my deepest gratitude to the government and the people of Uzbekistan for graciously welcoming us during these challenging times due to the conflict in Middle East. I highly appreciate President Mirziyoyev, whose strong leadership driving reforms and economic growth. Guided by your vision, ADB will further deepen collaboration with Uzbekistan. For centuries, here, Samarkand has been the meeting point for the world. It was the beating heart of the Silk Road. It served as a historical crossroad of trade, culture, and ideas. When travelers reached Samarkand, they were not just trading commodities. They were building the interconnected system of the ancient world. They understood that prosperity depends upon the links between them. Today, Asia and the Pacific stands at a new crossroads. We are living through an era of radical transformation. We face a new normal defined by compounding shocks. These include geopolitical fragmentation, the devastating impact of conflict, deep economic disruptions, and escalating environmental stress. Look at the current conflict in the Middle East. It is a direct hit to the global economic engine, and it is one that affects our region the most, as it is at the end of long and fragile supply chains. These shocks do not respect borders. They travel through the arteries of the global economy, fuel, freight, finance, and factories. They land squarely on household budgets and the communities that can least afford them. The paradigm has shifted. Our response must shift with it. In this fragmented world, traditional and isolated development responses will fail. We can no longer afford slow country-by-country reactions to regional and global crises. To survive and thrive in this new era, we must build deeply connected and resilient systems. We must act together if we are to develop together. ADB is moving aggressively to meet this moment. We deliver with speed, we deliver at scale. In 2025, amidst rising global challenges, ADB provided an unprecedented $44 billion in support to the region. This was driven by over $29 billion in our own resources, a 20% increase over the previous year. We also mobilized nearly $15 billion from our partners. But capital alone is not enough. The institution itself must be wired for speed and agility. We have moved rapidly to provide crisis response when our members needed it most. This shows ADB can act with urgency when the moment demands it. We were the first development partner to reach out to many of you on budget support in response to the Middle East conflict, and we were the first multilateral development bank to announce a financial support package for affected countries. We secured the first amendment to ADB Charter in our nearly 60 years history. The change will allow ADB to increase finance by 50% increase without asking shareholders for more capital. We launched the first ever historic full mutual reliance framework with the World Bank to streamline our joint support. This reduces the time, cost, and complexity of delivering assistance to our development member countries. And we have implemented sweeping reforms to make ADB faster and more agile. We are deploying new tools of a rapid resource reprogramming and deployment option offers countries immediate financial relief. It allows them to repurpose existing sovereign portfolio funds in the very first day of a crisis. At the start of this year, we rolled out a new environmental and social framework. They will elevate our standards and protect communities. We are actively accelerating our decentralization. We are pushing resources and decision-making out of headquarters and into the field. This brings us closer to our clients and the challenges they face. To ensure we have the talent to execute this, we introduced a new strategic human resource framework. This will help us attract, retain, and empower the best people. ADB is not waiting for the future. We are proactively reshaping our institutions to meet it. So, what does this future look like? It looks like a region where connected systems drive shared resilience and inclusive growth. It begins with integrating development across our borders. Yesterday, we took a significant step in this direction by launching the $50 billion Pan-Asia Power Grid Initiative. Across Asia and the Pacific, demand for reliable electricity is growing faster than national system can deliver. This initiative shifts us away from bilateral projects. It moves us toward coordinated region-wide multilateral power trade. It will be a massive driver for shared energy security. By 2035, our ambition is to integrate 20 gigawatts of renewable energy across borders. We will connect 22,000 circuit kilometers of transmission lines. This will improve energy access for 200 million people. We aim to reduce regional power sector emission by about 15%. We will also expect to help create 840 million jobs. By connecting nation power systems, we balance the variability of renewable energy. We also lower costs. But this is just a start. We must also close the digital divide and leverage artificial intelligence safely to leapfrog development. The investment required to close the region's digital and data infrastructure gap over the next decade is staggering. It is estimated at roughly $320 billion. Many communities still lack reliable broadband access. Cross-border digital infrastructure remains limited. So, to help meet this need, we are advancing the $20 billion Asia-Pacific Digital Highway. This will build the foundational fiber, submarine cables, and broadband networks the region desperately needs. Our goal is to reach 650 million people by 2035. 200 million people will gain broadband access for the very first time, and 450 million will benefit from faster and more reliable connections. We will also ensure that 3 million people, especially young and women, receive training in digital and AI skills. To finance this massive transition, public resources alone can't meet this region's needs. Fiscal space continues to tighten. Aid priorities are shifting. Debt burdens are mounting across the region, so we must harness the private sector. The private sector creates over 90% of all jobs. Government of their own can't fund the infrastructure required for growing populations. Large pools of private capital exist, however, they are not flowing where they are needed most due to policy constraints and market failures. The binding constraint is not a lack of capital. It is the lack of an enabling environment. ADB has set an ambitious target to increase our private sector financing fourfold, reaching $13 billion annually by 2030. To reinforce supply chains, our trade and supply chain finance program supported $5.7 billion last year. We are prepared to increase this to $6.5 billion annually by 2030. To guide our efforts, we recently launched our high-level private sector advisory group. Guided by this group of really top global business leaders, we will target the specific bottlenecks where progress stalls. We will design credible frameworks and scalable project pipelines. This will give private capital the confidence to engage and invest. Underpinning all this economic progress is the very earth we stand upon. We must reverse environmental degradation. We must treat our ecosystem as a living infrastructure that sustains us. The triple planetary crisis of biodiversity loss, pollution, and the changing climate is eroding food and water systems. It is threatening sustainable development across all economies. We must remember that these investments are ultimately about the people. I have seen what overcoming these challenges looks like in practice. Last July, in Lombok, Indonesia, I met Ibu Ratona. She heads a local water user association. She formed a group of women to monitor canals, manage waste, and ensure fair water distribution. Thanks to their better water management, rice yields per hectare tripled, 3 times tripled within 2 years. Farmer incomes increased by 50%. 50%. Women-led associations in Lombok achieved the highest productivity gains. This shows how building environmental and water resilience directly secure local economies and livelihood. Last year, 22% of ADB's approved projects supported nature and the environment. Through the ADB-led Nature Solutions Finance Hub, we are helping countries move from high-level commitment to investment-ready pipelines. This year, we issued a $100 million green bond specifically targeting the devastating risks of glacier melt. In Central and West Asia, we are turning nature priorities into scalable, system-wide investments. From the construction of cross-border power grids and submarine cables to the protection of our fragile ecosystem, the sheer scale of this transition is unprecedented. Navigating this level of complexity requires an anchor of stability. It requires an institution with a mandate and the capacity to drive the economic integration of Asia and the Pacific. Our development member countries look to the ADB, Asian Development Bank, as the main bank for this task and as the main bank for the region. Our members need this anchor, and ADB fulfills with three core strengths. First, we have a unmatched regional mandate. We have an embedded presence and nearly 60 years of deep geographical focus. Our structure ensures that priorities are driven by the region for the region. Second, we possess unique operational capabilities. ADB keeps our public and private sector operations under one roof with one balance sheet and as one legal entity. This seamlessly integrates our work. We deploy innovative financial tools and risk-sharing instruments. We work with government to fix the policy environment. At the same time, we de-risk investment to make critical projects genuinely bankable. Third, we use a targeted delivery model. We act simultaneously as a financier, an advisor, and mobilizer. We do the hard work of upstream project development. This turns ambition into measurable impact. Let me bring us back to Samarkand. When travelers stood at this crossroads centuries ago, the paths they chose forged the connections that define the future. Today, the decisions we make at this new crossroad will secure the future for the next generation. We can't afford to retreat into isolation. This is not in ADB's DNA. We have the right strategy, we have the right institutional reform underway. We will lead this transformation. But our work is far from finished. Excellencies, partners, and friends, I ask for your continued trust and support. I'm ready to lead this institution into its next chapter. My commitment to you is absolute. We will sustain the gains we have achieved so far, and we will ensure ADB continues to evolve to meet the region's growing needs. The work ahead is immense, but our purpose is clear. We will wire the region's power grids. We will lay the digital foundations for tomorrow. We will unlock private capital at an unprecedented scale, and we will defend the living ecosystem that sustains us all. These are not separate initiatives. They are one deeply connected blueprint for the region's survival and prosperity. We have the strategy, we have the resources, we have the collective will to execute. We will not face a future as a fragmented region. Instead, we will step forward as one with ADB as your steadfast anchor. Let that be our clear message from Samarkand. Thank you very much indeed.
Xonimlar va janoblar, e'tiboringizni marosimning madaniy qismiga qaratmoqchimiz. Ushbu badiiy musiqiy ijro ajdodlarimizdan meros bo'lib kelayotgan bebaho qadriyatlar va milliy ruhni tarannum etadi. Har bir ohang va harakat orqali o'tmish va bugunning uzviy bog'liqligi, madaniy merosimizni asrab avaylash g'oyasi ifoda etiladi. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention is kindly invited to the cultural program of the ceremony. The performance embodies our ancestors' priceless heritage and national spirit, as well as deep connection between past and present. Please enjoy.
Mehmonlara rəqslər gül dəstəsi
Xonimlar va janoblar, Osiyo taraqqiyot bankining 59-yillik anjumani ochilish marosimidagi ishtiroklari uchun O'zbekiston Respublikasi Prezidenti Shavkat Miromonovich Mirziyoyev janobi oliylari va Osiyo taraqqiyot banki Prezidenti Masato Kanda janoblariga minnatdorlik bildiramiz. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to extend our sincere appreciation to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, and to the President of the Asian Development Bank, Mr. Masato Kanda, for their participation in the opening ceremony of the 59th annual meeting of the Asian Development Bank.